Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geomologist Presents. I don't know why, but this year, has been really hard to keep up with RPG a Day. Here it is, September 1st, and I've missed the last days. So, you will get, as soon as I finish recording this, a published version of Free RPG Day 2024, the wrap up, days 23 through 31. So let's get to it. These are a little hard, these prompts, I think. Day 23, August 23rd, was Peerless Player. And really, honestly, there's too many to list. But for sure, I would have to say my wife, Amy Lee Rodriguez. You've probably played with her if you played in my games. She's definitely loves like Twilight 2000 and other games. I guess she's really liking Pendragon because she's now watching YouTubes on Courtly Love and all that. But she originally, when we first got married, she wasn't really into games. I guess she said she had played with her brother long ago, had some bad experiences with D&D 3.5, but really, when one of my other peerless players in the home group took her under his wing and helped her through Pathfinder 1 stuff, she really enjoyed it, and she's been playing games ever since, like I said, Twilight 2000, and maybe now Pendragon being among her favorites. But she's always willing to take a crack at a game. You've seen her on the YouTube channel. She actually produces the Geomologist Presents YouTube channel stuff and is really self-taught. And I know we're still amateurs at it. And the production, of course, is not, high quality, the people who do big Kickstarter type stuff. But hey, it's coming along. It's pretty cool. And we're having a lot of fun with it. My home group are actually peerless players. I love that they are committed to these long-term campaigns that I subject them through. That's Jeff, Vince, Chase, James, Ben, right? So great home group. Love them. We're almost done with Enemy Within. We're on book 5, but we're taking a palate cleanser for doing a sort of a Star Wars season 2. We had an ongoing Star Wars campaign, Rebels, and we finished season 1, which was the Onderon campaign, not Alderaan, that got blown up, but the Onderon campaign, the homeworld of that one dude that's played by Forrest Whitaker, who's Salguera. Yeah, it was great. It was a really good season 1. Then I fast forwarded the timeline to after the Battle of Scarif and after the Battle of Yavin, and now we're doing Onslaught on Arda 4, and we're almost finished with Chapter 1. So I think that should be pretty fun. We're also playing, we started a Pathfinder 2 Bloodlords, and that last game went really well. The 2 sessions before that have been sort of, I don't know, I think everyone's very tired, but I feel like we accomplished a lot this time around. Finished one town, defeating the hag in one town, and they got some leads to the hag in another town, and learned that the coven was not 3 hags but 4. So they're going to go deal with one with the last hag they know about. Then they got to get some information about a 4th hag in a different town or city in where they're at, which is Geb. So yeah, Bloodlord's very interesting. The characters aren't not necessarily nice. One of them is becoming a vampire. One is a skeleton. The others are more or less neutral, but one is the scion of a devil, right? So yeah, it's interesting. They're not evil, but they're not really good. But that's my home group for you. It's been really great. Definitely the anchorites are peerless players. I know, again, I played with a lot of you, but especially BJ, Arlen, Joe, Matt, who I just one Matt I've played with for a long time. One Matt I just kind of met. I known him on the Anchorites, but met him at North Texas. We bonded over beer and whiskey and gaming. So there you go. Tim, and special mention, of course, to Jason Connerly, who is always wanting to play but works way too much. And of course, there's like Joe Salvador, Joe Richter, Dungeon Musings channel, all those people I play with. Right, peerless player is very hard. There's so many good players that I play with. I've only had a few bad experiences, and usually those are at cons, but I really haven't had bad experiences with the guys I regularly play with. Else I wouldn't play with them, right? So thank you so much to Kevin Madison and the guys I play with, especially in the Traveler, the Borderlands run, and the Warhammer Fantasy campaign. Darren Green, Colin Green. Great, great stuff. So too many peerless players. I like to play games. I got a lot of players, but anyway, hopefully, I'm sure I missed some people. Like I'm thinking like Jason Hobbs, who got me back into the OSR with Kalmata, and those players there, TJ Drennan, who I played with and has some fantastic ideas with games. And again, much like Jason, works way too much, and it'd be great if we could all retire, live off our annuities and pensions, and just play games. So anyway, there you go. Acclaimed advice. This is a great one by Colin Green. Don't be a dick, either as a player or as a GM. And I know I've been guilty of sometimes being a dick and overstepping my bounds as a player. But no, lately I've learned to like bite my tongue. Hey, the GM is running the show, even if you're not doing the right thing rules wise. Well, let's talk to him later. Let's not make a big deal out of it. Hey, we're here to have fun. And as a GM, really don't be adversarial. I'm definitely of the philosophy of yes and. So if you want to do something, and we will at least roll dice to see if it happens. That you might not succeed. It might be challenging, but I'm an objective referee. Don't get too attached to your NPCs because they're just NPCs, and the player characters are the heroes of the tale, not the world, not your story. So yeah, I think that's my acclaimed advice. I guess desirable dice. I love D12s. I have so many dice, too many to count. There's a couple kind of dice sets that I do like to collect and get, and those are the ones for Modifius 2D20 because it's always fun that they have unique symbols on the effect dice and on the D20 dice. So those are pretty fun. I have some from Star Trek, John Carter Mars. Who else? Infinity had some cool sets as well. The Conan had some cool sets. So there you go. Up to Cthulhu. Yeah, it keeps going. Right, I collect way too many dice. I used to collect the free RPG day dice. They had these D6s, and they'd have like the free RPG day on and the date on one side. And then at some point, I think they got bought out by another company, and they stopped. And now the free RPG dice are sort of lackluster. So I was collecting those for a while. So they were desirable, but no longer are they. So day 26, superb screen. I think the best screens that I use that really I have them at the table, and I really haven't put up a screen. I like to see the players and talk to them and what they're doing. I have the screen that's more of a reference. So like if I want to look something up and I don't have to look at the book, and the screens that are best at that are the Hyperborea screen. I'm always referring to it. The Warhammer Fantasy role-playing screen for the 4th edition because it has the skills. And we always mess up observation, awareness, perception, but at least I will know with a quick look up what it's called in Warhammer Fantasy. I'm very impressed by the new Pathfinder 2 screen. It has cool things on it too. It has all the conditions you need to look up, how they work, and that's very important. Conditions are a weird thing, and kind of the thing that you have to look up the most, I think, in Pathfinder 2 has a lot of abilities and tags and what they mean. It also has the experience table because that's very important, and I was hating to look it up in the Game Master Guide or whatever all the time. So the Pathfinder 2, and then I used the old AD&D, the 1E yellow one with the weird dragon in the front. That one's a really good screen, and it definitely helps take the place of. It has all the tables that you need for to hits and for saving throws. It's kind of only what you need in AD&D, but it has all of them. You don't have to look up in the Ifriti cover DMG first edition book. And I really got to use that a lot at North Texas RPGCon at the table, so it was really fun. So those are the screens I really like the most. All right, day 27, Marvelous Miniature. I used to paint and collect minis. I haven't for a while. I was honestly going to start getting back into it, and then I was discouraged because I dropped some books on really cool Skaven Screaming Bell that I had put together, and I painted really a neat. I didn't paint it the traditional way that it is in the book, but I painted it like if you were to collect wood along the seashore, sort of has that grayish, dry wood type of thing, not the the new brownish kind of wood that you would use, but it looks really cool, and it's got that greenish tinge that matches really well with the warp stone and all that. One of these days, when I put it back together, because like I said, it got sort of damaged. I have this really cool mini also of Cthulhu. It's just kind of big. It's probably about 8 inches high, and I spray painted it and did all the stuff. And it's a really cool mini. I've never put it to the table, but those are some cool ones that I have. One of my favorites is like a demon lord that I painted. I got the eyes really well. I have this sort of minotaur looking swashbuckler. I think he's a character from WoW. I can't from one of the from that one instance in the Dead Mines instance where you're on the boat. He's the dude with the scimitar and the pistol. He's got like a duckfoot pistol. I don't think he has that in the but I did a really good job on that mini. It's a beautiful looking mini. But those are the ones I remember and I like. I have some armies for Warhammer Fantasy Battle, and actually, I think I still have an Eldar army for Warhammer 40k. I had not gotten to the table or updated or painted or finished painting really some of them. Oh well. It sucks when you break your wrist and it's hard to paint and your hand shakes all the time. So that's a little discouraging to really want to get back to painting, but maybe I can try. Great gamer gadget. So I guess my phone. I use my phone a lot as a gamer gadget in this day and age. But that's the next prompt, unfortunately. But there's this one cool like template that Amy got me from like a Wii or Temu or something, and it's a circular template, so it has like the small, medium, and large blasts in it. It has cones and sets up for lines, and also when you throw a grenade and it bounces, it has like the directional table that you could put at the table for the bounce, either as a D6 or a D8. It's a very handy at the table type of gadget, and I really like it. And she bought extras, and I gave some to a couple other my players who are also GMs, and they really like it. So day 29, awesome app. Well, hands down, it is a Crawler's Companion by Purple Sorcerer Games for DCC. You can make characters for 0 level characters, like spit out 4 characters at a time, DCC characters, MCC characters, specific world like Lankmar characters. It has you could really quickly look up if you have it. Well, now I think they have like a legacy app for it. They're still working on the more modern apps, but you can get to the website and get to the web app now still, and do a lot of fun stuff with it. You got the funky dice roller, critical hit charge. It's got spell references. It's awesome. So there you go. Lots of different tools. It's really great. So yeah, you could even MCC 0 level party generator too. I gotta do that. I picked up MCC at North Texas RPGCon. It was like a flash sale, whatever they're doing, and I like it. I want to play it. So I remember fondly Gem World, and I feel that would satisfy that vibe. So mutant, kind of weird mutant that doesn't make sense scientifically type of game. All right, person you'd like to game with. That's day 30, August 30th. I don't know. I'm not like maybe I was a couple years ago, but I've never really been like an autograph chaser. I guess if you know me and you know where I went to school and my background, well, you maybe understand why, but I just don't chase people. And I know it's really cool at cons to play with someone, an author and stuff like that. And I've done it. So I did it a few years in a row. I played with some really cool people. I really enjoy playing with them. It's really great to play with the author because then you understand, you learn kind of what house rules they might use for their particular game. I think that's really funny. And they don't always do rules as written, but it is what it is, right? But I play with some really cool people. And I think now when I go to North Texas, I am pleasantly surprised when they play in one of my games, and that's really cool. So I think it's cool to have these creatives and authors do that. And sometimes you don't even know. That happened to me this last time at North Texas, where someone joined my Hyperborea game, and then I introduced himself at the end. I go, "Oh, I never met you, but I recognize your name from some works." So that was pretty cool. So it happens. And I just want to run games at these places now and let other people who want to play in those games do it. Although I think next year I might participate in some side events that I hear go on at some of these conventions, and these are run specifically by some of these creatives. So yeah, so I think that's a cool thing, and that would be really fun to do. Day 31, finally to the end. You know, the game I missed the most, this is game or gamer you missed, game I missed the most is Broken Lands. The first kind of foray into using Roll20 and doing DIY and getting back into sort of, old school gaming that I hadn't done for a while because I've been more of a Pathfinder, and then tried the new 5e thing and playing a lot of more modern games, but getting back into BX and then, the retro clones like OSE, and then jumping back into AD&D also, although that's more recent, because you just hear things. Oh, I might not be running it right, but we ran it right, and people are cool and don't, and they really help you if you haven't played for a while. So I think that's really great. So that's the game I missed the most. I'd love to reboot it. I don't know if reboot is a word, or continue it, or the time has passed and this is what's going on. I had some really cool things, and some things like, oh man, I'm doing like a West Marches Hyperborea game now. I'm like, oh man, I remember I had like events that could happen, and I got to break open my Echo Resounding and Red Tides and kind of have that at the ready. When players get to the table for our West Marches game, roll a d6. That's usually what I did, and then if something comes up, well, there's an event, and there's a couple events that kind of could be triggered now. That are in the rumors for that game. So yeah, I think, and I did that in Broken Lands. I'd love to do that again for Hyperborea. So maybe I don't miss it so much because now I got the Hyperborea game that's West Marches. Although I do have to say, I can't wait to get the print versions, and I'll do like an unboxing and stuff. But we got the PDFs of the latest Hyperborea Kickstarters, and those adventures are hella cool. They're like 96-page adventure things with appendices and new places and stuff. So those are really cool. Anyway, I guess as a side, I do miss the Hyperborea game that Kevin Madison ran for a very long time, where I played Iphigenia Acantadoros. She got to like 6th level and could cast lightning bolts, and it was hella cool. The best time is when she destroyed a ghost, but almost killed herself. All right, now the players I miss playing with. We've lost 2 players that I've played with, or 3 actually. One whose name I won't mention, but was kind of in an old Pathfinder 1 campaign of ours, and he's passed away. But then recently, you guys would know Mo from the Dungeon Musings channel. I've played with him in several games, most notably in the cult game that Kevin Madison ran for a little bit, and he was a fun player to play with. I really enjoyed playing with him in a 5e sort of Magic the Gathering. I can't remember which world it was, game that we played with too. So it's really great to play with him. And then who can not remember Aaron Coleman, who we lost last year. I got to meet him at North Texas last year, played with him in many a Kalmata game, very memorable moments, and played with him in the last Kalmata game, at least that I played, and he was there. So yeah, that was an online game that Hobbs ran. Anyway, those are the games, and more importantly, the gamers that I miss. Well, there you go. No frills, no nothing. A lot of me rambling, of course, but the end to RPGaDay 2024. A day late, but not a dollar short. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for listening to the GMologist Presents. Shoot me a line. I got a couple call-ins from RPGaDay. I got a call-in from one of my previous podcasts that I need to put on there. And then I get back to the regular schedule with a sort of a Friday release now after August being done with a free RPGaDay. Sorry, I wish it was free RPGaDay. That'd be awesome. I've said that again. But you know me and memory. But RPGaDay 2024. Thanks for Autocratic and Runeslinger for putting this together. Can't wait till next year. I will try to be more diligent. It is definitely a lot and a glut of many podcasts I have to catch up with. So yeah, it's pretty cool, but it's a challenge. And maybe that's the way things should be. There should be cool challenges out there. Shoot me a line. GMologist at Gmail presents. No, sorry, GMologist at gmail.com. You can also drop me a message on Discord, and I will put it on and try to answer your questions or comments or respond to your comments. I also have a SpeakPipe account linked to this show. So thank you so much for listening. My wife Amy does the cover art. Take care, good night, and good rolling.